I want to talk about the difference between the resale market and the pre-construction market. You might be hearing that prices are down right now because of what's going on with interest rates. The resale market is entirely different than the pre-construction market and is affected by different circumstances. For example, if you are selling right now in the resale market, you are doing so because of personal reasons. You could be moving, you could be promoted and upgrading, you could have lost your job and need to sell, you could be relocating to a different position. You are choosing to sell in a market that's affected by other individual homeowners and what people and willing buyers are willing to pay for a property today. With pre-construction, the cost of pre-construction doesn't go down. And you might be asking yourself, why? That doesn't really make any sense. Well, a developer buys a piece of land and they predetermine all of the costs that are going to be incurred to make that project viable, right down to their return on investment. Nobody would want to purchase a piece of land and build a building that takes 4 years only to lose money, right? It doesn't make any sense. Cost of pre-construction can never go down because the developer has to take into account the cost of development fees that are going up by 50% over the next 2 years, as an example, the cost of all materials in construction that go up even with regular inflation, the cost of the labor to build go up every year, even with the regular cost of inflation. And most people can assume that buying a piece of land in 3 years' time is not going to be cheaper than buying a piece of land today. So the cost of building something in the future is never going to be cheaper than the cost of building something today. So you're not able to add new housing in the future for less than what it costs to buy housing today. So if you're looking at buying something that has been discounted or in a market that's down at the moment, then you should buy in the resale market. So why buy pre-construction? The prices are higher. We know the prices are not going to go down. Most purchasers like the pre-construction model because they get to put down less money over a longer period of time and get higher leverage. In pre-construction, you're likely putting 5% down in increments over a 1.5 year period of time with nothing else due in 4 or 5 years. And the big kicker is you don't have the burden of getting a mortgage or financing for 4 or 5 years time. The resale market, you need all 20% of your capital down plus all of your closing costs in 30 or 60 days when you get keys. So people really like the extended deposit structure and the ability to buy something that's brand new, that has no deficiencies, that's going to likely be the newest and best-selling building in an area, and letting the market appreciate for that period of time. Although pre-construction prices don't go down because the developers aren't able to discount prices, they do offer incentives that make the investment more attractive. As an example, right now we're seeing most developers come out with a much more aggressive extended deposit structure that allow a purchaser to take what was that 15% and extend it by almost double the amount of time. They will do things like lower certain closing costs or throw in a couple of upgrades. Biggest advantage that we're seeing now is developers start to initiate more incentives to get their last 10, 20, 30 units sold so they can obtain their construction financing and get into the ground.